Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Gardening for Life channel. We are so glad you were able to join us again. It's been about 2 months since we started this channel, and this is our follow-up video from the very first video that we did on introducing our garden space. Today I wanted to show you in 2 months how our garden looks like, since there's been quite a lot of interest from some of our followers. And just to give you a little bit of an idea, some of the improvements we have done, some of the failures we have had as well in our little garden. So let's get going. So at the entrance to our house, we still have our giant pothos that's been doing really amazingly well. Look at this, it's been climbing all over the gate. If you guys remember, we had added a jasmine plant, which is also doing quite well. It's been growing really well, and you can see all the climbers all over the gate. It's not yet time to flower, but as soon as we get our really hot season, it's going to start flowering, and it smells so good. We do have our lavender in the back. This is the non-flowering lavender, and we have the pineapple, one of the weird things that we grow, and we have several of them. We have the mint. It doesn't look amazing because we did a very heavy cutting of the mint. We'll do a video on the mint, but it's always good to keep on doing a very heavy cut on the mint so that the bushiness comes back to the mint and it's not too woody. As the elephant ear that we grow, as well as some of the Monstera, and some pineapple, and a little bit of the herbs that we're trying to grow here in the corner. It doesn't have a lot of light in this corner, so it's a very tough experiment. It's not going too well because you can see the seedlings are becoming quite leggy as well, but we'll try to continue with this experiment. This is actually coriander seedlings that we're trying to grow. This is our herb square, one of our favorite parts of the garden. It's my cat Carl, always likes the attention. So with the herb square, we have made a little bit of improvement. One of the things we have done is we added a bit more compost. You can see we also managed to put in a new nice wood block around the herb square because the soil was just going. Local wildflowers. We have another jasmine here. A banana tree that we used to have indoors that has grown too big to be indoors, so we have it sitting here outside in a beautiful local pot. We have some of the roses. I'm sure you guys have seen the video that we made on our rose collection, and we also have beautiful lavender that's been interplanted with the roses. Lavender is actually one of the tougher plants for me to grow, so I'm constantly trying to learn how I can get more out of these lavender plants. They essentially don't bloom as much as I would want them to, but something we are learning constantly as well. Here in this corner we have some of the wild plants. We have the huge Monstera that's covering this corner of the garden, and we have a huge monster banana tree that's become so big and so quickly. This is all over a time span of 5 months. We do have a little bit of chili plants as well. You can see they have all become red now. That's the way my wife actually prefers to use them, so we are letting them go from green to red. We have our little succulent corner here, a lot of mix of succulents. I'm not an expert on the names of different succulents, but you can see quite a bit of them. We have the aloe as well and the snake plant. And in this spot we also have the beautiful hibiscus plant, which flowers quite often, and it's doing really well. It's not flowering right now. This is the spot where we grow all our hydrangea, and you can see they're all doing extremely well. Hydrangeas need a lot of light and a ton of water as well. You can see we're getting quite a lot of them. And we have also our beautiful prickly pear, which has become so big. Some sunflower and Carl. We have some roses, a little bit of elephant ear, and some more roses. Going to this part of the garden, what we have is essentially a bunch of parsley, which has really done so well in the last several months. In the last 8 to 9 months, it's been growing constantly. We've been using it for different dishes like the soup, and different sandwiches and salads. We also have the Kankun that we have planted recently. It's doing pretty well. We also have the shallots in the back that's been growing quite well. And in the back we have some seedlings finally coming out. This is actually coriander that we have planted in this container. Some more coriander here, and also turmeric. Some more coriander and basil planted in this container, also seedling stage. We have here some Kankun, some ginger, and we also have some we also have some bok choy here that we're going to plant. So as you guys know, we try to use every part of the garden, so we're using these recycled containers in the fence to grow as much as we can. It doesn't get a lot of light, but we're trying to do our best and grow as much as we can in this spot as well. We have the huge Monstera here, and we are right under our enormous Cassava tree, which does so well, and we're constantly harvesting it. My wife loves to cook cassava leaves, and it's so delicious. So we are trying to grow it as much as we can. It looks absolutely beautiful. And under the cassava tree we have our parsley. We also have a mix of Kangung, and we also have a little bit of bok choy as well. We love to do interplanting and companion planting. In this corner, some wild plants growing on the fence, as well as elephant ears doing really well. We have our lime tree here. In the lime tree we have struggled so much, and I would love to hear your comments about any tips you might have how to fight pests on lime tree. We have tried everything from ash to baking soda, to using soap and water, milk and water, all combinations, and we haven't had too much success. It's generally temporary success for a couple of months, and then again the pests start to come back. So any help on that would be great, but we're not going to give up on that. Oh my god, look at this guy. He just likes to jump and climb all over the tree. So he was all over this tree. It's a guava tree that does amazingly well. We get so much guavas on this tree. Every single month we tend to have a lot of flowers and guavas. We have our dwarf mango tree, 2 of them, and behind that we have a huge it's like a wall hanging, it's the pumpkin plant that's been growing, and you can see some of the flowers have started to come out. It's doing amazingly well. We love to eat pumpkin as well. We have some more cassava trees. So we have 2 cassava trees here in the corner, another one in the other corner. They're doing extremely well as well. And this is our little vegetable garden square where we grow quite a lot of variety of different things. You guys probably remember from last video we had a bunch of chilies in this corner. What we have also done is added some radish. We have added quite a lot of spinach, and also a lot of lettuce, which is doing really well. We have our shallots, which have all flowered. We're just waiting for it to dry off so we can harvest. Chilies, you can see they've been flowering, and we're getting a bunch of chilies now. We also have our bok choy in the left side of the square. Here, ginger there as well, waiting for it to dry before we harvest. Some new pea plants that we have planted in this corner. Lemongrass right next to it. You guys seen the video on the lemongrass. We have a bunch of lemongrass against the fence here, also in the back as well. We have some baby coriander plants here, turmeric, some more radish, okra plants, which is doing really well. They're starting to flower, and we're starting to get a bit of okra as well. Love to eat okra, it's so great. And we have some eggplants growing there as well. They're doing really well. Just waiting for it to get a little bit bigger, and then we're going to harvest it. Bunch of other eggplants growing on the other one. And here in the corner we have some garlic leaves. As you can see, they're doing really well. We love to use the garlic leaves, but also we'll harvest it after a couple of weeks. We also have in this corner some turmeric, our curry tree, which is doing really well. We love to use curry tree for Indian cooking. We also have our drumstick plant. It's one of the interesting plants that we grow, and it's something we use in South Indian cooking. We're going to do a video on this because it has so many interesting properties when you grow it, and when you harvest it. It's so beneficial to the body. We have a bunch of baby Kankung that's coming up, and some of the mature Kankung. So we do a lot of succession planting. As you know, we constantly keep planting new seeds. As the old one matures, we want to make sure that we have new seedlings coming up as well. We have a tomato here, just fixing it. It fell off the trellis. So we have a huge tomato plant here. We have a bunch of tomato plants here next to our parsley. Another lemongrass tree here. Get a better shot of the lemongrass from this side. Some more tomatoes and some kangkung on this corner. And some of the tomatoes have been coming up now to maturity. Some are being eaten by birds and some are actually coming out to maturity. We're waiting for others to come up before we harvest, but we're getting a bunch of flowers on them, so I think we'll have plenty this year. We have our huge marigold plant here. We love to plant flowers among the vegetables, as you guys know from our other video. And on the fence, what we have is really a mix. We have the kangkung, we have some chilies, we have some coriander, which is starting to seed. This particular one, I want to actually see the flowers and the seeds, because I'm going to use the seeds to plant some more. We have more kangkung, we have some more cassava, beautiful cassava, and something new we're experimenting with is the corn, which is doing quite well. I'm using it for experimenting and learning how to grow corn, and to really work on the fencing here. And you can see already it's starting to mature really well. Can't wait to harvest this. Some pumpkin here, it's already flowering, bunch of flowers on it. This is our snake plant corner. We have a bunch of snake plants here right next to our compost. The compost doesn't look pretty, but it's a compost pile. We are going to be showing you guys another video how we work on the compost pile. Basically I like to turn it over every 2 to 3 days, and then we're back to our mangoes and our vegetable garden corner. So that's really it, guys. That's our entire tour of our small garden, and we're so happy to share the updates with you. As you can see, we have done quite a lot of mix of new vegetables that we have planted, like the eggplant and the okra. We also try to revitalize the soil with a lot of compost, and we try to constantly make sure that we can grow a different variety of vegetables and flowers. We are constantly learning as well. As you can see, we have had few failed experiments with some parts of the garden and some vegetables that we're still learning about. Some of the pests as well that have been quite difficult to deal with. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun to really experiment and to learn, and to learn from all of you guys as well. I'm really happy that you're able to follow our little channel and to support our channel. So I think that's really it. I wanted to thank you all guys for tuning in. Please do like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys. See you.